Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kyle Richards' Stranglehold is killing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Through the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills 14 seasons, there's been one constant, Kyle Richards. As the only OG housewife, Kyle has gotten particularly familiar with how things run on the show. However, recently it's come to many viewers' attention that she has become so intertwined with production that she's no longer just a cast member. She's the one steering the ship. Kyle doesn't follow the network's orders anymore, she makes the orders. She has this stranglehold over the series, where she always seems to know the agenda ahead of time, and somehow manages to dodge the tough questions while everyone else gets dragged in the mud. If the network doesn't do something about this stranglehold, Kyle could end up killing the series. Reunions are the most blaring example of Kyle's stranglehold over RHOBA. Without fail, she is always placed beside Andy Cohen, which is considered the spot where the housewives who created the most drama of that season are sat. However, she's not there to get flamed, just to take in the spotlight. This is where Kyle's superiority complex shows. Kyle always dominates the conversation, but is never really held accountable for her actions. Andy always tiptoes around her, asking questions that Kyle has almost rehearsed the answers to. A notable example is how Erika Jayne was wrung out at the reunion during her divorce versus how Kyle was treated. Erika was grilled on everything surrounding her divorce, from nasty rumors to legal scandals. Nothing was off limits, and that's how most housewives are treated. However, Kyle seems to get a special pass. Andy seems to avoid the rumors surrounding her separation from Mauricio Umansky, including the real estate mogul being seen partying with much younger models. When Kyle begins to look the slightest bit uncomfortable, he backs off. Erika was not given the same special treatment. While all the ladies are grilled on their mistakes throughout the season, Kyle always seems to skate by with rehearsed emotion and fake humility. She seems to choose between playing the role of the victim or the voice of reason, but never takes accountability as the villain she truly is. Reunions are all about real confrontations and unfiltered emotion, and Kyle's curated narrative is ruining that authenticity. Kyle's stranglehold on the series also shows when the other housewives tiptoe around her. The only person I would say is somewhat holding her accountable this season is Dorit Kemsley, but that comes after years of sucking up to her. Kyle did one of the lowest things a friend can do, break girl code. After sending texts to Dorit's soon-to-be ex-husband, Paul P.K. Kemsley, and lying about the nature of those texts and their friendship, I think Dorit should have had a far stronger reaction. You just don't talk to a best friend's ex, even more so since the two aren't talking. However, I think Dorit still has this feeling that her fate with the show lies in Kyle's hands, and she can't get on Kyle's bad side or else she'll be punished. Erika and Sutton Stracke bow down before Kyle like no other. Although Erika is trying to play Switzerland, you can tell that she will take any opportunity to throw in a comment in support of Kyle. Sutton may as well lick the ground Kyle walks on. She seeks constant validation from Kyle, and that really showed in St. Lucia. During a group dinner, Kyle finally defended Sutton when it came to her feud with Dorit, and in her confessional Sutton said, "Kyle stepping up for me. See, I knew we were friends. I knew it. And now everybody does too." Sutton knows that sucking up to Kyle will get her in a good position on the show. Meanwhile, Garcelle Bavas and Bozoma St. John have called Kyle out, but are still careful not to go too far. Garcelle took an opportunity at the season 14 reunion to expose Kyle, saying that something she told Garcelle off camera seemed like it was said to shut her up. Garcelle didn't go as far as saying what Kyle said to her, most likely out of fear of the repercussions. Although both Garcelle and Boz have had the confidence to call Kyle out, neither have had the guts to truly expose her. You can visibly tell that all the castmates are scared of Kyle and are following her lead, which is really off-putting and defeats the purpose of reality TV. If Kyle's stranglehold over the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is an indication of one thing, it's that this series needs a major cast shakeup. Everyone needs to be on equal footing, and that means the network has to cut ties with Kyle. Between hogging the spotlight, curating narratives to fit her interests, and creating an environment where her castmates have to tiptoe around her, Kyle has become untouchable. And the favoritism is so thick, you can cut Real Housewives of Beverly Hills shimmered like a Swarovski-encrusted dream. Opulence, scandal, and the kind of drama that felt less like a reality show and more like an accidental opera. But somewhere between the clink of diamond-studded wine glasses and yet another cast trip to Aspen, the show lost its sparkle. And there's one name that fans are starting to whisper with increasing frustration: Kyle Richards. The former fan favorite, who once charmed viewers as the level-headed brunette with a heart of gold and enviable hair, has become the show's de facto gatekeeper. And it's suffocating the life out of the franchise. Let's be clear. Kyle has always been a central character. She's the last remaining original housewife for a reason. Her family legacy, ties to Hollywood royalty, and years of producing meme-worthy moments, the "You Stole My Garden House" fight will live in infamy, made her a cornerstone. But as seasons passed and castmates came and went, Kyle remained, and so did her grip. What once was a balanced ensemble has slowly morphed into the Real Housewives of Kyle Richards. Formerly dynamic women like Lisa Vanderpump, Denise Richards, and even Lisa Rinna have come and gone, their exits often marked by friction with Kyle. Vanderpump, who brought her own brand of British cool and pink roses to the mix, left after being painted into a corner during Puppagate. Denise, who brought a Lister intrigue, left under a cloud of rumors and backroom shade. And Rinna, love her or loathe her, brought nuclear energy to the show, until even she became expendable. It's not that Kyle is overtly villainous, although lately the lines are blurring. But her influence behind the scenes is palpable. When she doesn't vibe with someone, it's only a matter of time before they're holding their final diamond in the opening credits. The show has become an echo chamber of Kyle-approved narratives, and that's a problem. There's an old Housewives formula that fans used to love. Mix strong personalities, throw in a lavish lifestyle, add some low-stakes drama, and let the chaos ensue. But as Kyle's sphere of influence expanded, the formula became flatter. The cast now seems afraid to challenge her, or worse, entirely aligned with her. Groupthink kills reality TV, and that's exactly what's happening here. Even her personal storylines have felt, well, curated. Kyle's marriage troubles with Mauricio Umansky, once a private fortress of aspirational stability, are now front and center, but in a way that feels suspiciously managed. One minute they're separated, the next they're still living together, posting happy family photos while rumors swirl about new relationships and flirtations. Fans don't need everything to be real, but they want it to feel real. And lately, Kyle's plotlines feel more like brand maintenance than authentic storytelling. Meanwhile, attempts to inject fresh blood have floundered. Sutton Stracke and Garcelle Beauvais bring depth and wit, but too often their dynamics are neutered by an alliance-heavy atmosphere. Crystal Kung Minkoff barely got a chance to breathe before being treated like a background player. The Kyle and Friends format doesn't leave room for new stars to rise, unless they're deferential to the queen bee. There's a quiet irony here. The show that once thrived on tension, unpredictable personalities, and the ever-shifting alliances of strong women has become a pastel-hued performance of loyalty and forced friendship. Even the fights feel rehearsed, like they were brainstormed in group chats and cleared with publicists. Without genuine friction and power shifts, RHOB8 has become a slow march through designer boutiques and Fox deep healing journeys in Palm Springs. And fans are noticing. Ratings may still hold, but social media sentiment is shifting. Longtime viewers are tuning out or complaining that Beverly Hills has lost what made it essential. Once it stood shoulder to shoulder with Atlanta and New York as pillars of the franchise. Now it risks sliding into irrelevance, buried under the weight of one woman's creative control. There's still hope, of course. Bravo has revived flailing shows before, Miami anyone. but it takes bold moves. That might mean asking Kyle to step back, at least creatively, or introducing a new, strong personality who doesn't care about kissing rings or avoiding confrontation. It might even mean bringing back a legend, someone like Vanderpump, if bridges can be unburned, to restore the balance. Ultimately, RHOBA needs to remember what made it great: the unpredictability of throwing high-powered women into the same room and letting them clash, bond, and evolve. Right now, the only evolution seems to be Kyle slowly reshaping the show in her own image. And that image, as polished as it is, just isn't enough to carry a franchise.